I bought this to remind myself of this exact moment. This piece I got when I was visiting Orcas Island this summer. The reason I got it is because it reminded me of what it feels like when I feel so connected to a place and so expanded. And it is so easy to forget what that feels like when you get back into your routine. Isn't it great when we do things like that, knowing how we're going to end up responding in a situation? And then like these lavender, I picked these at a lavender farm and I dried them. And so there is a part of me that also is like, how much lavender do I bring with me? I can obviously buy this again somewhere, but some of this feels sentimental to me. This is the kind of thing that when it's in my home, just the scent and the memory it creates, this might be the kind of thing that is worth bringing. Hello, my name is Amy. If you have been here before, thank you for coming back. If you're new here, welcome. I started this channel as a way to share some pivotal moments starting for me and really be able to be honest and vulnerable about my journey ahead. I have recently made a lot of decisions that felt really big. They're just decisions that I have made from a place of really going within and my intuition and really letting go of what society thinks I'm supposed to do. And so I am bringing you along on my adventures. And to be honest, I am not sure what those are right now. And that is one of the things I want to talk about in today's video, is just getting really honest about the fact that when I move out of where I live now, my home, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm going through some of my kitchen supplies and it actually makes me so excited to see some of these things because they are pieces that I have kind of kept tucked away because I don't use them on a daily basis. But wow, it just really excites me to see some of this. And then even just like the patterns on some of these pieces that just remind me of me since I've been in a shared space for a long time. There's something so comforting. And this cutest apron, I've got another one here. Look at this cute apron. Some of this stuff I've barely used. You like those placemats, buddy? And then these cute placemats, I mean, they still have a tag on them, but I think they are just so cute. I'm going to keep them with me. And you know, going through things like this makes me feel happy about being completely with myself and on my own, just really looking at the silver lining in some of this. In almost, gosh, I feel like a year and a half of research, knowing that this day was going to come, that I consciously made, that I made from a place that felt very aligned, even though it's, I think, not the thing most people would do logically, but I have zero regrets of everything I've had to make decisions on up until this point, because I have really made these decisions from my instincts, from my intuition, from my dreams and desires. I just want to live a life where I feel so fulfilled and joyful. The only time I've regretted anything is when I make decisions based on the influence of things outside of me, people, other experiences, anything like that, you know, what I'm supposed to do. And so here I am sharing my journey of just really uncovering what my highest alignment is and living from a place that is really based on what I feel is right for me and following that no matter how scary it is. So in my research, a few of the things I know is that ideally I want to have a home base. I want to have a place that is mine, that I go back to, that I can always come back to. But I'm not sure where I want that to be. I have lived in a lot of places already. One of the reasons I chose not to keep the home I have now is because this is not the place I want to be indefinitely. These pillows, I made both of these. I was selling them both on my Etsy store. I love them. This is linen, and this is a style that I feel for me is timeless. I can use whenever, and I can also just take the cover off and bring this with me. Same with this one. This is just like extra cozy because it's flannel, but I just feel like it's really well made. And again, I love that I can just fold these up and bring them with me. I work in accounting and I've studied a lot on when it comes to investing and finances. I've worked extremely hard to learn because it's not something I learned growing up. I have studied for a very long time real estate investment, and I've actually worked in real estate accounting, and I thought that I would buy an investment home that would be the first thing I did. But it's very interesting because now that I'm here in this moment and I am following my inner guidance on this, it does not feel like the right moment right now. And that doesn't mean it won't be. But I also didn't want to put myself in a situation where, sure, I have the home, because isn't that the American dream? Although I'm also Canadian, so maybe that's part of it. I didn't want the house if that's all I had. I didn't want to have to put all of my money into updates on the home and not be able to travel and not do these other things that also matter to me just as much. I didn't want to be house poor where my home is right now. It has been great for this season, but this is not where I want to be long term, and I've always known that. However, when I made the decision to be here, it was the right decision for me then as well, and I've never questioned that. So now I find myself in a situation where, interesting that all the things I thought I was going to do when this moment came is not actually what I'm feeling I need to do right now. And perhaps that will look and feel different when I'm no longer here physically. I am trusting right now the unknown. I am trusting that I am not sure what that next step is supposed to be. So I do want to have a home base, but again, I don't know where I want that to be. I am also someone who would be open to like a tiny home community. I want to have a place that is a place I can come back to, but also be able to afford to take off and hit the road and go for a month-long road trip or 6 months or go overseas or whatever that looks like. At times I feel like I can kind of have one or the other. I also love the idea of having some land, a place where I can host people. I've always loved that, to be able to have people come to me and have an experience of really just feeling like a feeling. I want to create a feeling for people where they feel like they get this total reset. At times I get overwhelmed because I think, well, which one should I do? I need to just pick one. I need to pick one thing. I feel this kind of pressure at times. And those pressures are what I'm trying to really let go of and remind myself, if you're into human design, I am a manifesting generator. And a huge thing is that if it is not a full body yes, it's a no. So far, when I follow that, things have worked out for me. The biggest struggle I have right now is simply that nothing has been a full body yes. I am just really committing to living from this place. And maybe I won't do it forever. Maybe I'll say that was fun, but it's just not working for me anymore. And that's the beauty I feel of growth, is that we are always evolving, and we realize that in every season there's a new and different way to approach it. And this is just what works for me. Another big topic within all of this is what I'm going to be doing for work. I know that my job that I currently have is not going to be very supportive of one of my possible ways I'd like to live in the next year or so, is by being a little bit of a nomad and possibly having an RV or living in Airbnbs for a month at a time. I'm not sure how well that would go over. Of course, I'm going to be responsible about everything I'm doing and the decisions I'm making, but at the same time, I don't want to only make decisions from that place. I am so creative, and I didn't know that because I always just did the logical thing. I studied math. I studied finance. I took the job that looked the best on paper. You know, I followed that route in my career, and that's been great, and I've learned so much from that. But within that forever, I have also always had something else within me calling me to another way of living. I've found myself frustrated at times because I feel like, okay, yeah, I'm doing the logical thing, but there is something within me that is really dissatisfied that I need to focus on. And so a big thing for me when I turned 39, actually, because I was like, okay, I want to set the foundation for when I turn 40. What am I doing that are long-term investments for myself that will allow me to get to that point? Now that I am 40, I'm looking ahead to this next decade. And one of my goals is that by the time I'm 50, hopefully sooner, I am in a situation where whatever I'm doing is a choice. Work that I'm doing is because I am choosing to do it. That looks like continuing to learn about investing in myself, and yes, monetarily, but in a lot of other ways, and allowing myself to take time to do things that ignite me, that bring me joy, that make me feel expanded. And actually, my creativity in these videos is one of those things. I'm actually an introvert in life, if you were to meet me, but there's something about being on camera and sharing in such a vulnerable way that has really brought me so much joy. Because even though I'm introverted, I love connecting with people. I love sharing. I have always had so much depth, and I've always been looking for deeper meaning in things. It's probably my Scorpio rising. There's something about this and really realizing that in each season, I have something to share that might be relevant for someone in a year or 2 years from now, but just continuing to show up from a place that's honest and authentic for where I'm at right now, because that's what's inspired me when I see other people do that. And so I just thought, let me just start creating because it brings me joy, and I really want to have community wherever I'm at. And our world is turning into one where a lot of community is now found virtually. I love that. I definitely want community in person as well, but I realize that community being another huge focus for me right now, that is so attainable in so many other ways when we think outside of the box. So for now, my focus is simply on continuing to pack and organize my belongings, decide what I want to keep, let go of what I do not need, what is kind of feeling like it's weighing me down a little bit. I am trying to be very efficient in the things I do have and keep, and making sure that those things are high quality, that they'll last me, but not needing anything in excess, because whether I end up buying a place and moving into it, or renting a place, or living a little bit nomadic lifestyle for a little while, I just want to know that I have this like lightness. I'm really feeling called to just less. At the same time, having things and keeping things that matter to me and that mean something to me, that are going to just feel so good to open up once I know where that home base is. A factor I have in my mind through all of this is my dog, because I know how important it is for him to have a routine and to have a place that feels safe for him. I know ultimately that is with me, but for the other animal lovers out there, know that he always is a factor in everything I'm deciding, because he is just my little earth angel. So we're just going to see, we're taking this one day at a time right now, and just continuing to show up from a place of what feels authentic. And within that, that also for me means taking time to quiet everything else and refill my cup. That's a lot of being active, getting out in nature. It's yoga, meditation, just taking that time to quiet my mind and disconnect from social media, and just allowing myself to speak from a place like this and share and hear from you. I am really excited about this journey and this unfolding. I'm excited that you're here with me. Hopefully you hang out and you come back to watch more. I do know that this will get more exciting and there will be more to share, and I'm so excited about that. Right now it is just kind of like the packing up and having to go through things, that the stuff that isn't as fun, but it's going to get more and more fun. I just can't wait to share it with you. So I will talk to you soon.